Hello, hello. Oopa.
Oompa, what's up?
Hava Nagila. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
It's
Monday night, August 29th, the end of another month.
I know, the final Monday of the month. And this
Episode
week's
117 of the EriDan Film Festival.
That's
Movie
just
145.
and if
For
you
those
want to
who
be a
can't
guest on tonight's Big Fat Greek EriDan,
I think that's a good idea. I think everybody should want to be a part of this festival of falafel.
it's super easy.
It is so easy. It's like Dan in high school.
EridanLive.com. EridanLive.com.
It's that easy. It is that easy. I just mean you were such a good student. High school is not a problem for you. All right. So you should join us to talk about this movie. We should talk tonight about My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And this is going to be a good time. Lots of maybe some bad Greek accents. Who knows? At least some in-sync talk, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A movie that had half of Joey Fatone in it.
Oh, yeah, it's very
He's
true.
twice the man now.
All right. Well, so we start bringing some people in.
Let's bring people in.
Let's do this then. Oh, I haven't been able to play that one in so long because Reagan is here. Nick, and Nikki are here. Very exciting.
Nikki.
Reagan, I love your room. It looks awesome.
Thank you. They're just some of the many name drops that I have from the whole entire summer, including Joey Fatone. So
I think there's going to be some stories tonight. Well, that's very exciting. Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to that. And hello, Stacy and Wade.
Hello.
Nikki. Hello, Nikki.
Yeah. Hello. And we'll get back to you because you picked this movie, Stacy. So we'll have to talk about that after we bring in some more people. That's the wrong button.
Like, who's that?
Brian.
Hey.
Bunt cake.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here. Yeah.
All right, let's bring in some more people.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
And there is Nick.
Yo.
Nikki Bunt cake. Hello, everybody.
All right. Speaking of everybody, let's bring in Richard. And there's Richard. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're pretty good. Now,
Doing well.
Home and you're not with us, you'll notice we have some extra spots available. Even though you're like, well, I don't have a cute little intro. Don't worry about that.
It's so lonely down there.
Oh, Dave.
How do you bring your head like maybe that way? There we go.
Wow.
That was difficult.
Well, at least I'm not wearing an I'm with stupid shirt.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't even want to try to point like, wait, see, that's not the right way.
Yeah.
There it is.
Richard could go either way. Richard poor Richard's all alone. So if you would like to join us, don't be scared.
Oh, moving on up.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa. I
All
was
right.
Alice, but now I'm not.
I feel so much better now. I'm like Whoopi Goldberg in the middle. Okay.
I'll take Richard to block.
I remember that show.
All right. So not a little predecessor of What's Ahead. Adam is in the comments.
Oh.
More like my long, boring, unfunny movie. It was like the shortest movie I think we've watched in 6 months.
Well, let's find out what the deal was as we talk about My Big Fat Greek Wedding from 2002. Love is here to stay. So is her family. Directed by Joel Zwick. And screenplay by Nia Vadoros, also starring and a cast of other characters, which we will get into. Budget of $5 million and a worldwide gross of $369 million. Critics at a 76, audience at a 73. Stacy, making us watch this movie this week. What is up with my long, boring, unfunny movie?
No, I was really hoping that Adam would have a different opinion. I'm so sad.
Oh.
You didn't expect him to, did you?
No, I didn't, but I was
You know,
hoping. 'cause,
That's like handing
I don't
Superman some
I don't-
kryptonite and going, I hope you like it this time.
I don't know
I
his.
thought you had cracked the
I don't
Adam
know
code
him at
for a
all,
rom-com.
Rom-coms
It is-
and musicals are his
it's-
two biggest
Yeah, but this
no-nos.
one's funny.
It's the highest grossing rom-com ever.
I was going to say that is a really well done
Yeah.
gross income.
And
Yeah.
it's from Playtone. I was so
Exactly.
excited. You have no idea how excited I was to see the Playtone logo come up.
At the beginning, and they started playing the beginning of That Thing You Do.
Little beginning of That Thing You Do. And in one of the scenes, the band is playing a song
Yes, it is.
by the Wonders.
Yes.
So they're playing my my only
The
dream.
Oniters?
The Oneaters.
The Oneaters, yes.
The Oniters,
exactly.
that's what it was. The Oniters,
Right,
yes.
exactly. So to me, like that instantly got extra points
That's
for
really
the
good.
That Thing You Do references that
Very
were in
cool.
this movie.
Well, Tom Hanks being the producer certainly helped that.
Yes, and also got his wife in the sequel. So, but we'll talk a little bit about
Well, his
that.
wife is the one that actually discovered it. She
Yes,
saw
she saw
the
the
play
play.
in Los Angeles
Oh.
at the same theater that I actually did a play that I was in. That's not really a name drop. Can you name drop a theater?
Yeah.
It wasn't
don't
really a
know.
play. It was the Miracle Impersonator, where I did my Alec Baldwin impression, and Simon Helberg, who ended up on Big Bang Theory, did his Billy Baldwin impression beside me. He didn't say anything. He just made the face to look like Billy Baldwin, and I just said, "I'm Alec
I can
Baldwin.
see that.
That's Billy Baldwin. I'm Alec Baldwin."
Yeah, that's always great impressions when you just say the name.
That's all I
I'm
could do.
Alec Baldwin.
I'm Alec Baldwin.
I'm John Wayne.
What's in your wallet?
Oh God.
I'm Alec Baldwin.
So this was the first time for me. I believe Brian, you said this was the first time you've ever
Yep.
seen this movie.
Wow.
No, I don't know if Adam had seen it more than once. I'm guessing he wouldn't have seen it again.
I guarantee you he never saw it before.
Adam says he likes the dad.
Well,
Michael
yeah.
He
Constantine
likes
is great.
Greek food.
Well, that
Other
gives
than
you
that, the movie
more
was
points.
bad. So that might be worth something.
At least I like somebody. You
And it
know?
was short.
Yeah.
It was kind of short.
91 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
The reason I don't know why I picked this, because this is not the one I had in mind a couple of weeks ago if I got picked, which I think Adam probably would have shot himself, but
Ouch.
I don't know, something. This is one of those movies that I can watch again and again. I don't like to rewatch too many movies unless they're old. Like newer stuff, I'm like, I don't have to do that again. But this was one, Pirates of the Caribbean, especially the first one, I can watch again and again. But I don't know what it is about it. It's just hilarious. Now, this time watching it again, I was watching it through different eyes because I got to rate it. And some things I was like, wow, that's kind of annoying. But it's still funny. So, yeah.
Annoying can be funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's Weird
Andrea
Al.
Martin.
Oh, I love
Andrew
it.
Martin is always good.
Yeah.
She's something.
I think the problem today is half the people in the movie weren't Greek, and that people would complain that they were playing Greek face, like people
and
that are
John
doing.
Corbett is only half white, so you know.
He is?
Well, actually, it depends how you classify white. He's a significant amount of Ashkenazi Jew.
Really?
Oh. You know, there's only 90 families that are Ashkenazi Jews.
They bred like rabbits.
If you're an Ashkenazi Jew, then you're one of you can trace back to 90 families in one part.
Wow.
Jeez.
All
That's
names.
crazy.
Brittany said she had liked it, never seen it before.
That's
Rebecca
not-
said there are two kinds of people:
That is
Greek people. Those who are Greek.
Well, that's
We know-
from the old movie.
The word movie, the root of the word movie, actually goes back to
Come from Movium.
Oh, and there you go.
Oh, gosh.
kimono.
That kimono joke, that was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
His mother.
Oh, they were as white as you can be.
We'll have.
Oh,
we'll
man,
have
that was, in fact, that's probably my biggest criticism of the movie was they made his parents too white.
Well, and they made him too much of a pushover. They made him too much of the perfect man, right? In my opinion, was like none of the conflict was able to come from him at all. All the conflict came from his family. So he had to completely be willing to roll over and do anything and everything perfectly so that the drama never came from him. There was
But
never a
even so, it's-
problem with their relationship. There was never an
Right.
issue with him. He never
even with that,
family. He never gave her a hassle about anything. He was perfect in every way so that all the drama could come from her family.
Well, but even
And
that,
I felt that made him unrealistic.
his family never caused any problems. They were just really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not like they
Well, I'm just saying,
interfered or.
But in every real relationship between a man and a woman, there's like, if you had taken the family drama out of this, there would have been an issue between the two of them that had to be resolved by the end of the movie. But because that wasn't what they were doing with this movie, and they were
Right.
making this
It's my big fat Greek wedding, so it's
Right.
got to be all about the Greek.
he was unrealistic. He was the white girl in every action film that has a male lead.
But he was charming enough that didn't bother me. Whereas with his parents, it did bother me because they were just so. It's like in the script it just said, "Get the whitest couple you can find." It was just.
Yes, we'll have the wedding at the club.
I just thought he
Yeah,
was-
that was so weird. Because here's my thought: it's the bride's party to plan.
Right.
groom
Yeah, the
doesn't
groom
do
would never
anything.
do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was like, "What are you talking about? That was not a thing."
I didn't buy their relationship. I didn't buy their relationship from the beginning because to me it was like it was just all right. Just insert white male lead.
Mhm.
Done. That's all we have to write. He doesn't have to be realistic. He doesn't have to have a backstory. He doesn't have to have friends. He doesn't have to have anything so that we can play the joke off that his side of the church is empty. Right? It felt like his character was not well flushed out. It was
Yes
not.
and no. His character was not well fleshed out in the script, but the chemistry between the two of them made up for that to me.
I think so too.
See, that's what I was thinking
I mean,
too.
I'm not saying it was a bad movie because of it, but I'm just saying that was the one thing that bothered me throughout that is that I felt he could be more interesting. Like there could have been a lot more to him that made him more interesting, except for the fact that he was gorgeous.
And
I said,
He was a recovering drug addict.
in Demolition Day, right? He's just
He's a recovering drug addict who's being saved by his cat.
But
But
Eric,
if you
the
did
point-
that, it creates the conflict in a different area than the Greek family. So it's like.
But typically, every rom-com, there's a point where one of them wants out of the relationship, one of them gets scared, one of them wants to end it, and it never happened.
Right.
Yeah.
You find out something bad about the person. Oh my God!
You're saying it wasn't formulaic enough?
Well, that's the problem. Is you get so used to you're expecting that to happen
Right.
Mhm.
that when it
Right.
doesn't happen, you go, "Oh, the movie's over."
But see, that's one of the things I liked about it. It wasn't quite
I'm
as
not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
how it was. I thought.
Yeah.
Now my mom has a good thing. It's one of her favorite movies. Reminds her of her dad, my grandfather's family, with all the aunts having their special dish that they bring. My dad was one of 11.
Wow.
I mean, not my dad.
At
Her
first,
dad.
I thought she was scoring it an 11, and I thought, whoa.
No, she's
Send.
not
That's
Adam. She's
harsh.
gonna give it a good score, I'm sure. It is a fun movie.
It is.
And
It's a lot
I've
of
never
fun.
looked at Windex the same.
Right? Exactly.
Yep.
I did
If
notice for the
Denise
first-
was here, Denise would be drinking Windex.
Right, she'd have a
my
blue
God,
drink.
Totally would be.
It's okay. I'll make
It's
laugh.
Like it's not real Windex, but it's blue. Like
Right, and she'd be spraying it in her mouth all the time.
she would use at the bottle.
My favorite line in the whole movie was, "It's okay. I'll make lamb."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't eat no
I love-
meat.
Andrea Martin was great in this movie.
I liked obviously because my name says bunt cake, but I liked there's a hole in that cake. It was
Yeah.
great.
Would.
Bunta? Bunta?
But
The one I liked was
uh,
rushed and simultaneously so slow. Okay.
Interesting.
It's kind of an inside joke more for Rafi, who's not here, obviously, but my co-host. But we did it when we were on the
inside,
radio.
it's just for Dan.
Well, they have that one line where she goes, What was her assistant? They were Armenian. That's near Greece, right?
Yeah.
Guatemalan.
And then they turn out, no, she was Guatemalan. Oh, yeah, that's right.
That whole sequence.
Anything but
I
American.
rolled my eyes at
Parents,
that part.
like,
I did.
trying to like culturally appropriate meeting Tula, and like they're just trying to come up with things that they have experienced with other cultures. Somehow.
Yeah. Oh, you're not white from Middle America. That reminds me, I once met someone who looked like they had a tan.
I mean, I get what they were trying to do with his parents in the sense that they were trying to make the greatest contrast they could between the two families.
Mhm.
So his parents, he's an only child. Instead of having a bunch of kids, they hang out at the country club and they make bundt cakes, and they have seemingly they have a couple cousins that live half a country away.
Right.
So I get it. I just think it was just taken a little too far.
See, I used to think that, but then I watched the movie just one day. It just kind of like happened. Like I happened to watch the movie in a different way for some reason. I don't know why it connected differently that time, but like the love story is not about like her and her husband. It's about her and her family. And
Right.
so that's where I kind of looked at it in the point where like Nia Vardalos wrote it about her relationship. Like the best friend of the husband is her husband in real life, and it's their story. So like I don't think it has to do with him, and I don't think that it has to do with his family or anything, like exactly what Dave is saying. Like that's why they're so cut and dry toast.
Yeah.
Like that's why they're like that, because they're supposed to be like, that's just like, it's her very basic perceptions of like, this is the guy and this is his family. They have nothing because they were just the trigger. It's about her and her family and like their relationship. And that's what I liked about it, was like that it was them, you know. It wasn't like a whole big love story. Like, yeah, you had the pieces of it. You understood that they were together, they liked each other, and they actually did. It wasn't like I'm doing this to avoid my family and be like, oh, bye Greece, I'm gonna leave and marry this white guy. Like to avoid that. I think that's the only reason why they have it, because it's about their love story, but at the same time it's about the Greek family and like their love for her, which I really liked. I don't know. I just watched it differently one day and it made it so much better for me.
Yeah, Brittany says
Me
something
too,
that I was
Brittany.
going to say. Yeah,
Yep.
me too. I teared up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
how
said,
funny
I don't-
was it though that the house was right beside their house?
I knew it was going to be
I-
really close. I didn't remember that it was next
I
door. though.
laughed so hard.
I don't know. I winced a little bit. I would not want my in-laws to find me out.
Right.
I'd be very nervous.
You just flip it. Just flip it.
Well, you know, the other thing that I thought was kind of cool was the whole time I kept looking at her brother going, where do I know him from? Where do I know him from? He was fake Joey on Friends.
Yes.
Well, and I also loved that the relationship between her and her brother was one of the key things in the film too.
Yeah.
They were just such they each had their problems with the family, but they each loved the family and loved each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be an artist.
I definitely agree with Reagan about the story arc being about the family and not the actual love story between them. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And
My
there's a
favorite
third one
line
on its
from-
way.
Well, that's what we said. Reagan and I were talking before that was the antagonist is the Greek.
Yeah, like there's not an antagonist, like, and I love the way that they set it up, because it's like it's made so you don't hate anybody. Like even whatever the guy's name is, John Corbett's family, like you don't hate them either. You just know that they're his family. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's not an antagonist. It's just like the situation and the stress of the situation is the antagonist, which I really like, and it makes it more fun to watch, I think.
Agreed. Well, shall we start to score? Because we have a lot to do tonight.
We do have a lot going on tonight. That's a very good idea. Let's go ahead and get to the scores, if I can find the button.
Well, as always, since Stacy picked the movie, we start with Nick and Nikki. Nikki and Nick.
I love this movie. I can watch it over and over again. Not like in a row or anything, but I just like Nia Vardalos' face when she sees John Corbett like being a dork and she's 30. Just cracks me up.
And she's just like hiding
Yeah. I didn't understand. But it's
behind
funny.
the water. In the water tank, you
Like,
see a
and he's like-
reflection.
Right. See me through that. Yeah, anyway. And then The thing though that I was unbelievable to me is that I'd rather see her and John Corbett together than her actual husband. He is not John Corbett. Sorry, Ian, you're not John.
If you're casting your own life, you cast your husband as an upgrade.
Exactly, and she did. I'm sure that she and Ian are very happy. Whatever.
No, they're divorced now.
Whatever.
No, are they really?
Happiness.
No.
Stop.
Yeah, they're about 3 or 4 years ago.
The
That's
baking
so
show.
sad.
It didn't last.
Well, anyway, because now she's probably living with John Corbett. Anyway.
Only in your dreams.
Anywho, I would give this movie because I can watch it over and over again. It's always funny. Always. I watched it, like I said, I watched it differently. I saw different things this time that I didn't remember the 3 other times I've watched it. Andrea Martin was a little over the top for me this time because I've seen her so many times. The teeth, the growth, the twin.
It was my twin.
That was too it was too much this time. But I give it a 96.
Woo.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Nick, what do you say?
that's you.
Oh, Wade, what do you say?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't know what all to talk about. I like the movie. I'm going to give it an 88.
All
There
right.
it is.
Man, a
for the
few
point.
words.
Had no
Keep it-
airplanes.
Yeah, no.
Ah.
She was
Keep-
a travel agency.
She was
They-
traveling.
Yeah, it was a travel
There-
agent.
I did like the airplanes. The models were in the window.
That was a
I liked
promise
them.
of airplanes.
the tease of airplanes.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
I don't know. I would give it a 94 because I don't know. Like, I don't remember the first time I watched it. I think I was like in like middle school or high school or something. I think it was probably high school, like 9th grade or something. And I've watched it a lot since then. Like, I've watched it quite a few times. And it's just still so funny to me. I was laughing so hard yesterday at like random stuff, or I would like say the lines before they said it because I thought it was so like I would just start laughing about it before it even happened. Like, I just really like whenever I can watch a movie and I can do that. And like, yeah, there are a few movies that I can do that with, but this one is just so easy to watch. It's not one that you really have to like think super hard about because it's not nothing crazy happens, like nothing like super suspenseful. There's not really like a climax of any kind that like actually stuns you. It's just kind of like oh, I wonder where this is going. This is fun to watch and enjoyable, and it's really funny. And at least that's how I feel about it. And so yeah, I stick with the 94 for that one because it's a fun movie to watch.
All right. Thank you, Nikki Reagan. Now we go to
Who
Bun Cake
hasn't
Brian.
been here since May.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
know.
Reagan hasn't been here with us since May, so we're so
Wow.
Oh, wait, Brian.
I haven't watched movies. I've just seen all the actors from movies since then. So
been hobnobbing with the Hollywood elite.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we and if this was like a morning show, and we called him Bunt Cake Brian, that would be his name forever.
Yeah.
Now we're going over to
The
Bunt
coffee
Cake
and
Brian,
the-
who's out at the county fair.
All right. So
What's up, BCB?
really was surprised.
Oh, the
at-
humanity.
I was really surprised at how much I like this. I didn't think I would, but I did. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 94 too. I was gonna give it more, but it made me cry, so I took a point off. So
So it moved. You took a point off because it moved you.
yes. Oh, when they bought the house. Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
That's what I said too. I said, "Oh my gosh, this movie! I always cry at this part every single time."
yeah. It was.
I wonder how her brother and sister feel, or maybe they had the other houses on the other side of the house.
Right.
Probably.
And actually, that brings me to one of the things I did like about the movie was it showed restraint with the humor at times, which is a little weird because at times it was so over the top.
Mhm.
When they knew when to pull back, when the dad gives them the house, I guarantee you in a lot of rom-coms, they would have then switched to his parents panicking about, oh no, we've got to do something more than we did, and just that becoming a comedic moment, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They just looked at it as a nice moment between them and her father, and I appreciated that about it. I also liked the dynamic with the mother and the father. Very old school, old fashioned. He's the head, but she's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll get him to do what I want him to do.
He's the neck.
I love that. Oh, the neck thing was so good.
And the way they angled him into letting her work at the travel agency.
The old Jedi mind trick.
Yes, and just very pleasant. And the fact that she was going to, get training, go to school, not because she wanted to get away from the family, but just because she needed a change. And she wasn't doing it. She wasn't hiding things from them because she was afraid of what they would do to her. She was just afraid that they would be hurt by it, and she was trying to be kind. So I like the fact that it wasn't the complete cookie cutter rom-com. That said, there were some things I guess I've mentioned about the parents. That was probably the thing. His parents, I just found the casting and the portraying of them just to be so incredibly shallow and one-dimensional that it was a little over the top. But I enjoy it a great deal. It's a light, fun, not ambitious, and not but succeeding in everything it's trying to do rom-com. So it's a 91 from me.
All right. Richard. Nicholas Richard.
I remember watching this movie when it first came out. I was in like middle school or high school, something like that. It still makes me laugh. Like all the odd jokes. I pretty much cracked up the whole movie. And then like the really kind of like extreme family stereotypes, because I come from an Asian family, so same thing that I see in movies with Asian families. This is kind of a sweet movie. My favorite line from the dad is when Ian's asking him permission to date his daughter, and he just like stares at him. And he goes, "No!" The best line in the whole movie for me. This is the first time I've rewatched this movie since I saw it when it first came out. So It was quite refreshing for me. But this one gets a 71.
Wow, I was expecting higher the way you said that. Brittany says interesting to see the second one. The first one was good. 86 she gives it.
I don't recommend the TV show.
No. Great writing, all little details made it so special. Great comedy movie, says Rebecca. All hits, no misses, and Tula and Ian were just perfect. 96.
They were a charming couple.
They were.
Amanda says really pleasant movie to watch. It's not perfect, such as Ian's parents being too bland and some jokes just landing weirdly, but the jokes are great, and Tula's family really comes to life. 84. Now I have to go. We're waiting for Adam's score. Oh wait, before I go, keep it in the family. My mom gives it a 98.
Blows the lid off with a 98.
Wow.
And I remember for years joking about put Windex on it.
Yeah. Yes. We still do that.
I did that to somebody at camp this summer.
And it's one of those things, and I love a good success story. I mean, she wrote a one-woman show about her family and getting married.
The right person was in the audience?
The right person was in the audience. They only did 6 performances, I think.
Wow.
And Rita Wilson happened to see it. And then they made it a bigger production, and then I think Universal and some other people came. And then Tom Hanks came and agreed to do it on his Playtone label or film thing, production company. And so I like all of that. I do like, I just like it. So I'm going to go 93.
Wow. So much love.
Yeah, here goes Eric and Adam are still to go.
Yeah, I'm not here to poop on the movie because I mean this is a really there are so many good characters in this movie. There are a lot, and so I will say, Brittany, a lot of people do rip on the sequel. We watched the sequel right afterwards, right? Because it was like, well, let's just keep going. Let's see. Right. And I think it really works that way. Okay. I could see why it didn't work years after the fact.
It was like, what, 15 years later?
Yeah.
Watching it in the theater was like...
Yeah, and I totally get that. I totally get why that wouldn't work years afterwards, trying to return to that universe. The GCU, if you will. But right afterwards, it felt like a very natural continuation. It's not great. The sequel's not great. And I liked this movie, which is what everybody keeps saying is they liked it. I didn't love this movie, but I liked this movie. It's a very enjoyable. And as Reagan said, it doesn't have any like big suspenseful. Oh no, how is this going to end up? It is delightful, much like some warm toast. It's great. It's fine. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but I would have it if that's what was available. So I ended up where Amanda did with an 84. And then here comes Adam. Drum roll, please.
Ready? I'm ready.
Can't hear you.
Adam is a 38.
Oh, I was so
Adam.
close.
So Adam, before the show, we put together a
So who won the poll for Adam's score?
are we going to I did.
What'd
Yep.
you get?
I
Again, called
predicted
it.
37, Eric predicted 44, Brian 61, Dave 40, Wade 51, Stacy 42, Reagan 43. I know Adam.
Yeah, you do. See, I figured.
Thank you, Adam.
Adam
So
never
I-
fails to disappoint.
I get the Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
It's easier that
You have to
way.
go to Seattle to get it.
I'll get on the ferry right now.
I'll go get it.
So that was fun.
That was good. Give me
Now, my
one.
mom just mentioned something. She just texted me this, so I'll read this. It's kind of funny, and it's so true. She said when my dad and she, when they were engaged, he went along with everything that her family did, kind of like in the movie. And he didn't tell her until they were married that they were on their honeymoon. He said, "We won't be eating chicken." He hated chicken. He ate it whatever my grandmother served, he would eat with my mom. He went along with it, but then he's like, no more chicken.
That ended on the wedding day.
Yes.
Yes, my dad was one of 2 children, and my mom was one of 8. So he used to talk about going to eat dinner at their house, and not being used to the competition that would occur to get the food once it landed on the table.
Well, Stacy's mom's a little bit like the mom on there, where it's like, "Are you hungry? No, not really. Here, eat some of this," and then and piles it on, and wow.
My favorite is whenever she asks you and then she goes, "Well, I don't have food," and I'm like, "I didn't say I wanted any. I'm good. Like, let me sit here."
Tell them.
All right, so Stacy, look at that, 85.62.
Very solid.
Very solid performance.
Yeah.
Free
Knocking
guy and
Howard the
Galaxy
Duck
Quest.
to the 3rd page.
Oh. Is it our first 3rd pager?
There it is.
Well, it's
So
something
there it
with that.
is.
Yeah.
There you go. So nice showing there. Very nicely done. All right. So put your thinking caps on because it's time to talk about next week's movies as we pick double feature. Now, Brittany points out that next week is Labor Day.
Oh, it is.
So, and also it is the first of the month where Dan usually can't make the first Monday of the month show.
But I don't know because it's Labor Day if the other thing will be happening either.
So I think, are we talking about maybe a Sunday?
Oh, a short week for a double feature? Oof.
Or do you want to go Tuesday? We could do Tuesday. I think we can do Tuesday.
Well, it depends what the movies are, maybe. I mean, if we get really long movies or difficult, if we have short enough movies, we could do Sunday, but it's a little tricky with a double feature.
Well, I know, but I figure we need to decide what day it is so people can say whether they can be here or not.
Good point.
If it's going to be Tuesday, then somebody shouldn't be on the wheel.
My availability is fine either way.
All right,
I like
mine-
Sunday. I like Sunday better.
Okay.
All right.
Unless we want to do Labor Day. I mean, there's no Jerry Lewis telethon anymore.
I am unsure about my Labor Day availability. I might have company coming. I
So let's
don't
do
know
Sunday.
yet. We'll do Sunday.
Can
All right,
everybody
we'll
be
try
here
not-
Sunday?
there we go.
Brittany can't do Tuesday. Adam wants
Let's
to do
go
Tuesday.
Sunday. And suck it up. Watch 2 long movies. If I win and it's Godfather
We're
1
going
and
to
2,
do
you'll
The Irishman and Titanic.
The Irishman 2. No, all
And
right.
We're
Yeah.
having a Lord of
The
the
Beatles
Rings
documentary.
marathon this weekend, so you should pick Lord of the Rings.
Well, we'll see. All right. Is there anybody who can't make it for next Sunday? Is there anybody who is going to be off the wheel for next?
Well, I'm off the wheel already anyway.
Stacy's already off the wheel. Dave is off the wheel. Adam is off the wheel because they've already had a go this sequence here.
Oh, Adam's still there
Yeah.
right now.
Take go.
Oh, I gotta get Adam off of there. Sorry about that.
Take weight off too.
All right.
Is that what you want, Wade, or is she bossing you around?
It's fine. Yeah.
If it hurts, put a little.
That's all right.
We're
spray a
going to
little
be
Windex.
in Virginia, and we might be out with friends. So
Yes, we don't know.
So you might choose that over us, which is more than fair. So there we go. We will do Sunday night. If you don't see your name and you're supposed to have your name on here, let me know. if you are, and we'll do this. Are we ready?
Are you going to shuffle it?
I'm gonna shuffle it.
Doesn't matter,
Jeez,
but are you going to
give us a
shuffle it?
second, Dan,
I'm
man.
gonna shuffle it. All right, there's
Every
the
day
shuffle.
I'm shuffling.
shuffling.
Here it goes. All right, let's find out what's happening. All right, and you have some time to choose about your movies. And here it goes. Oh, there it is. It's Richard. Well, there. That might work out for him very well.
Well, we know it's not going to work out for any of you.
What are you thinking there, Richard?
I'm going to have to look. So give me a
All right,
second.
that's all right.
The Ralph
That's all right.
Bakshi version of The Hobbit.
Only two movies.
Okay, all James Bond.
You do the first and the last one.
No, only the George Lazenby ones.
How about
Okay. All right.
All right.
I got two of them. We're going to go with High Fidelity and School of Rock.
wow?
Okay. Music theme.
Music themed and both Jack Black.
Okay.
Both movies I've not seen. I've never seen either one of these movies.
You never saw
I've seen
School
one
of
of
Rock?
them.
Wow.
Nope. But you triggered in my mind. I was depressed because I had come up with my own double feature and I forgot what they were, and your movies triggered my ideas. So I'm writing them down right now, so I'll remember them for next time.
What were they?
You're not going to do the Pick of Destiny?
What?
You should do the Pick of Destiny.
The Pick of Destiny. Nice.
No, that movie
Yeah, the
deserves
Tenacious
its
D
own-
movie.
its own week.
I don't know if that's sarcastic or not.
I don't either.
So there we go.
No, there's
Well,
also an
that's-
REO
let's see where
Speedwagon
these
album called
movies
High
might be
Infidelity.
available.
Yeah.
I'm assuming both of these movies are going to be readily available somewhere, at least for rent. Being the popular movies that they are. High Fidelity from 2000, currently streaming on HBO Max for freezies, and Cinemax, if that's still a thing. School of Rock.
School of Rock's on Amazon.
School of Rock, you are correct. No, it's not. School of Rock for rent on Amazon.
Yes, for rent.
For rent, but not streaming anywhere for free.
Yeah, $3. You know,
So, but if you want to come visit Dan's house, I think
Skip
Dan
a
has
Starbucks.
School of Rock on DVD. No, I'm kidding. Well, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Black is Will Ferrell type of heat with me.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know how to interpret that statement at all. We might need to unpack that later, because we should talk about TV, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
If I can find the button for the TV thing, let's there it is. All right.
I love that intro.
Me too.
It's so funky. So I forget even who suggested it. Was this you, Richard, or was this
This is
Brittany?
me.
Was you? Man, this is the month of Richard.
My apologies.
Richard suggested Raising Arizona. No, I'm kidding. Raising Hope.
Not Finding Hope. That's a different show.
Not Finding Hope, not Raising Arizona, but Raising Hope, which was what, 2011 or 2010, I believe, when that first came out.
Yep.
And I had never watched an episode of that ever, partially because I think I confused it with Raising Arizona.
I have no idea what Raising Arizona is.
It was a movie at one point.
It's a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which I've never seen either.
Holly
but,
Hunter, Nick Cage.
Yeah.
but I think actually by this point I was kind of off sitcoms. We weren't watching a lot of sitcoms in our house. We had 2 younger kids, and so we'd get them to bed and we'd probably watch dramas and Elementary and other stupid crap like that. So I missed this series completely.
I saw a couple of episodes just in passing, but I really hadn't seen much.
I would say I watched the pilot during the pandemic when I was doing my pilot studies, and it is a great pilot.
It is.
Because it really sets everything up perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
You know who everybody is. You understand what's going on. There's a lot of similarities to My Name is Earl because it's the same creator.
Oh,
A little bit of white trashness going on. Just the opening scene, even when you realize that it's his dad's the one who's on the lawnmower blowing everything in the.
Yeah.
That
Because his dad's only 15 years
My
old.
Name is Earl was the only reason that I even started watching this show because I used to love My Name is Earl. As far as sitcoms even go, and I remember Raising Hope. I think was on Netflix or something. It was just kind of during a time in my life where I had nothing to do but sit around and binge Netflix.
There you go. Yeah.
And I remember just watching like the trailer for the show or whatever come on while browsing Netflix, and it said, what's his name, Garcia, who did My Name is Earl. So I watched the pilot and like I just got sucked in straight from there and just watched through the entire series. And it became just one of my favorite shows.
We watched 11 episodes. A lot from the list that had been sent out, but a lot that we went off sort of partly going by the IMDb ratings. And actually, to be honest, some of the ones that weren't on your list were some of the ones we liked the best. And I realize different people are looking for different things, so that makes perfect sense. But the one that I posted about, which was season 4, episode 7, with the Rear Window homage, especially given that that's one of the movies we've watched on this.
Yeah.
It was just hysterical. We were rolling on that one.
Can't remember the one we watched the other night. Wish you thought the mongoose thingies were up in the ceiling and shooting.
Yeah.
That's like one of Brittany's favorite episodes.
I really like when we originally came across the bit when it first started on TV and saw the first episode, and it was like a train wreck. You had to watch every week,
My only complaint with the early episodes is that it was almost painful the way they treated Mama.
Yeah.
And as the show went on, they became a little more sympathetic with her, and they gave her more time of lucidity and became a more interesting character. But early on, it was a little painful the way they portrayed her as just the crazy grandma.
Yeah.
I think that they didn't expect her character to be as sympathetic to the audience because it's Cloris Leachman, though.
Yeah,
people loved her, and I think that they realized, we're going to keep her an integral part of the show, where I don't think they had planned on that originally.
The last episode we watched was the last episode of season 1, which was the episode where Jimmy and Mama are celebrating their shared birthday. And that is a wonderful episode.
Is that the one with the film?
What's that?
Is that the one with the film of earlier birthday parties?
No.
It's going a lot of flashbacks of how they got where they were.
Okay.
And but it isn't just how Jimmy and Mama and the parents got where they were. It's also Samantha. It's also or Sabrina. I mean, it's also what's her name? Why am I forgetting her name?
Sabrina.
It is Sabrina. Yeah. It's the guy who the manager of the store. It's so many of them. It sort of paints a backstory for each of them in flashback. Which, by the time you've watched about 4 or 5 episodes and feel like you know them, is a really fun episode.
Yeah, the very ending of that episode, where the whole family is just like having a backyard party with Mama, and like she blows out her cake candles twice, right? Just hilarious. But the way that scene is shot is really, really kind of intimate, especially for the viewer, because it like the whole scene looks very candid. You know, it was almost like it was shot like the director told the actors to just kind of be natural. And it's a really, really sweet moment.
It is.
Like
Yeah.
that, the ending of that, episode kind of always gets to me.
I would say
Yeah.
the production quality on this is really nicely done, and maybe I'm studying that more since Dan and I have been talking so much about sitcoms and pilots and stuff like that. But just the way it's shot is, because honestly, and again, I enjoyed it. We only got through like 5 episodes. And we actually we realized that 3 off the list were within the first 5, so we just made it through the first 5.
We watched the first 5 as well. I loved episode 5, the Halloween one.
I did not like episode 5.
The
I loved
Halloween
that
one was my
That was
favorite.
cringy. That episode made me cringe a lot. Here's my problem: is that I feel like a lot of times I'm not attracted to shows where the main comedy is we're poor, we're dumb. Because I think that's easier to write. I think that's easy humor to be like, oh, I didn't know you shouldn't eat your toe fungus. Nerd. You know, it's like it's so easy to make something stupid about somebody being stupid.
Right? Brian about formulaic sitcoms.
But I will say the production quality of this movie, the way they filmed this and the way they shot this elevates that humor a bit, right? Where it does not feel as crass and cheesy and poorly done because they're using that kind of humor, right? It is done in such a great way, and the stories are written in such a great way that yes, most of the humor does come with how stupid they are or how poor they are. There's still an overall sweetness and sort of elegance to the way they're telling the story of this family, which I truly enjoy. So it's not just Roseanne, right? It's not that, right? It is. It's well done on its own way. I don't think I would watch it just because it's not because I don't like cringy humor, right? And that kind of thing is just kind of like, oh.
Well, you've seen. I'd tell you, since you've seen episode 5, which is the Halloween episode, you have to watch the episode. Is it season 2, Jimmy's Fake Girlfriend?
Season 2, 14.
You have to watch that as the follow-up to the Halloween episode.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I said I'm curious. I would read a synopsis of what happens throughout the rest of the series. I just don't know. I don't need the jokes. I think the characters are interesting. I think the story is interesting. I could do without the humor because the humor is so basic. You know.
So you want to sit. You don't want to sitcom. You want to sit.
Exactly. That's
well,
exactly.
like, so yeah, I mean, I totally understand what Eric's saying about the humor. You know, just like, I guess in a moment of vulnerability, you know, during that time in my life when I discovered this show, when I was in a place where I just sat and binge watched Netflix, like I was really depressed. You know, I was kind of really losing connection with my emotions and things like that. And this show really helped me bring out those emotions and help me feel and experience those emotions again. The humor is definitely one part of it, but there's just a lot of really touching and sweet moments in this show that just get me going. And it just, like, I'm pretty sure I introduced the show to Brian for the very same reason. Like, you know, we needed to feel the feels. And I was like, I have a show we should watch. And
Brian, who took the pain away from the movie because it made him cry?
Yes.
And
I don't like to cry.
Brian's like, yes, you introduced me to it, and I hate you for it.
I stopped watching it for a while though. Yeah. No, it's kind of I mean, I got to say it like quietly because I don't want my family to hear, but it reminds me of my family a little bit sometimes.
We're sorry.
Yeah, well, no, and Roseanne does too. So, but like my mom does that thing that the mom does, like where she says the word wrong, like all the time. Like she does
my dad butchered the English language.
Old timers disease.
Yeah.
With the pointing, that was
instead of like he wanted a frappuccino, he called it a frattaroli because that was our dentist's name.
There you go.
Oh
Give me one of those frattaroli's.
I play
Rolly.
guitar, right? My mom always says acoustic instead of acoustic. It drives me
Cool.
crazy. Acoustic. What?
A glue stick?
A glue stick,
Yeah.
a gooseneck.
But yeah, no, it's sweet, and I like the Jimmy Sabrina stuff. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Even I agree with you, Eric, in the sense that Bert and Virginia are portrayed as dumb. I mean, they're just, especially Bert, but even Virginia are portrayed as pretty dumb. Jimmy is not really portrayed as dumb so much as ignorant. Jimmy was raised by people who taught him nothing,
Right, exactly.
and he's suffering from that. Sabrina isn't dumb at all.
No.
And
No, not at all.
Oh no,
No,
so
and-
there's
and
a mix of characters.
yeah.
And she enjoys coming over and watching his family. I think. That's
Yes, she does.
Oh, thanks for letting me come over.
So turning everything around to me like I always do. Greg Garcia, as I mentioned, is the reason why I came up with Sitcom by 50. The idea is because he was doing a podcast with Barry Katz, and now Barry Katz is executive producer of my sitcom. And when I was meeting with Barry for the first time, he was texting with Greg Garcia because Greg Garcia was in Pittsburgh filming his new show, which stars the parents.
Both of them.
They're both in it now. Originally, Ileana Douglas was in it. She left, and Martha Plimpton took over. And it's called Sprung.
Yeah, we just saw the
Oh
ad.
yeah.
It's on the new Freevee, which used to be IMDb TV.
Yeah.
So it's basically Amazon Prime with commercials.
Amazing.
It was filmed here.
It was filmed in Pittsburgh, and if you want, I just pulled up the trailer. If you guys want to see the trailer real quick,
Sure, I was just actually like looking.
all right, hold on, I'll bring it up. Wait a second here. We can watch the trailer. I don't think that'll ding us, and if it does, well,
Usually trailers
Consider
don't.
yourself dinged.
all right. Here we go.
Governor's letting out a bunch of nonviolent inmates because of the coronavirus. What the hell's a coronavirus?
Place order. You need to stay in your home.
Well, we've been in prison. We don't have a home.
Yeah, I agree. It's a bit of a head scratcher.
You can stay at my mom's place for a couple of nights. Hey, mommy. Hey, shithead.
Oh my God.
Bro, you need a ride?
Can't believe
Is that the same pacer?
Do you think she's crazy?
Dinner's ready.
You're living under my roof.
You'll have to earn your keep. You can join my crew.
I just spent 26 years in prison and I'm not going back. So you're out. Seriously? We're gonna do this. I'm not robbing someone unless they did something bad.
Since Mother Teresa will only steal from bad people, I took the liberty of writing up a list of douchebags in the area. Should we be wearing masks? It depends on which channel you watch. I'm waiting for Dr. Phil to chime in.
26 years in prison. Now learning a few things.
A perfect crime is a crime that nobody even knows happened.
Not bad.
Maybe we shouldn't be thinking so small.
She's loaded.
That was Manaka. That was Manaka.
Time someone bites into a Twizzler. Americans love their red food.
Too much fun, yeah.
You've become almost like a family. We're very lucky to have met you.
Oh shit, he's got the Rona. Make sure you talk and breathe up through the flu.
Me, I can't.
Oh, sorry. Got it.
That looks good.
Yeah,
I'm lucky I didn't
do
get put into a fireplace. Oh my gosh.
He's got
Okay.
the Rona.
I got it at camp this summer. I got it in mid-July, and I was in a cabin for 5 days by myself with 2 other people that also got it. So
Your two best buds.
I like that at the beginning. What the heck's the coronavirus?
Not
Oh
fun.
my.
That's what it is.
We recognize the one scene with the houses in the apartment building. I think it's Manaka.
It looked like it.
Yeah,
I think it's Edgecombe Apartments. Didn't you ever work?
that could be a show all in itself.
Yeah.
I went to fix something there one time, and the old ladies were all playing cards downstairs, and Kent was with me, and they're like, "You want to learn how to play cards?" And he's like, "Okay." So I left him with him for a while, and I came back, and he's like, "They swear a lot."
That's funny.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I just got word from Emma that Daniel Radcliffe is playing Weird Al in the new movie about him.
Yeah, we mentioned that months ago.
I know.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, watch the trailer. I was here.
I know. I'm telling her. I'm like, thanks for the info.
You see, we keep you on the pulse of what's happening. If you know,
We're like Joel Denver future hits, right, Eric?
we're sort of like that.
Remember that back in the day?
With that, we might have to do a watch party for that movie. That would be.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be really fun.
My goodness.
That would be
So, Raising Hope, like Wade was saying earlier, when you mentioned this, we did watch it from the beginning, but we
really
stopped.
did like the first season.
But we didn't even get through the first season, did we?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I'm not sure why we stopped. I don't know what night of the week it was on. What
I also found the episodes uneven. Some episodes I thought were hysterical and I loved them, or very moving, and others were like, okay, fine. So you made it to a bad stretch.
And that could be the last one I remember watching was the one that I mentioned that I don't remember the name of. When they have a film of a birthday party, and I don't know whose it was, if it was Papa's or somebody. And Cloris Leachman they have her made up like when she was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and they bring that up, that she looked like that lady on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and it just cracked me up. That was my favorite part.
Is that who that is?
Funny.
That's the one. That's one where they had her living inside the glass house.
Oh yeah, they put her in that.
All right, so Brittany has a lot of comments here. I'm going to get through Brittany's comments here for Raising Hope because we have not heard from Brittany yet. Raising Hope is spectacular. Seriously, one of my favorite shows. Bird is probably my favorite.
Sabrina.
Episodes of this show that made me cry. Like, it's amazing how they can go from absolutely stupid to incredibly heartfelt. If you didn't watch the Valentine's one, you should do that, which I will. But I also love that they're poor and a little less intelligent. There's a little less intelligent, but there's so much thoughtfulness in their family making their own traditions. Arbor Day and Papa Woody. It's adorable. It's so weird to see her grown up. I keep picturing her from the Goonies. I don't know.
Martha Plimpton.
Yeah.
There
And
we go.
Parenthood.
And any episode that had Delilah in it, which I have not seen, I hated it before I even watched it.
Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Delilah.
That's a different Delilah.
A bunch of Delilahs.
Delilahs of the generations.
Dave, that was pretty good. That's pretty good.
That was a good Tom Jones.
Yeah.
Little Tom Jones never hurt.
Nope.
It's not unusual to sing some Tom Jones.
Is that irony? I'm trying to get irony here.
What?
Yeah, it's got irony in it.
There it is.
Yeah, there's irony. Focus. Like,
Took me a while.
I thought it was Smart Water. No, I'm sorry.
I think they got rid of Smart Water. It's all vitamin water now.
Yeah.
Don't make you no smarter.
So only lasted 4 seasons. Is that just because I don't know what the ratings were? Fox was pretty notorious for being very impatient with shows.
Well, Greg Garcia is, I think, the first person to create 3 shows, maybe 4 shows that went into syndication.
Wow.
Like
There's one episode in the 4th season where, so spoiler alert, they're on a TV show set because Hope is in the show or something like that. I can't remember. But there's a group of like media executives, and they're standing around on the set just discussing things. And Bert runs up to one of them, and he's like, "Which one of you is from NBC?" And the one guy like raises his hand, and he kicks him right in the hoo-ah and was like, "That's for canceling. My name is Earl." And then he runs away.
That's beautiful.
Oh my!
Apparently, there's a quick Google search says that basically there was a lack of network support for the show.
Well, that's typical of Fox. If it ain't animation, Fox doesn't usually care that much.
How many episodes are there?
22 times 4 seasons, so 88.
88.
That's pretty good.
that's
That's really good.
65. It used to be the magic number was 100. Now it's 65 because that gets you 13 weeks.
Yeah, they used to say 5 seasons too, but yeah.
Now they want 13 weeks because you get 4 runs every year.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, the actress who plays Sabrina
British
is a streamer on Twitch. Her name is Shannon. She's super nerdy.
You're the streamer.
She went on to be in Westworld, and apparently at the beginning of her career, she was on Clarissa Explains It All.
Oh,
Oh
boy.
yeah, I love that show.
Melissa Joan Hart, another in her family tree.
Clarissa.
Well, I know what I'm going to be watching now. I'm going to finish this whole series. I'm going to watch Sprung. 3 episodes are out already of Sprung
Oh, cool.
There you go.
You're gonna binge
I do
3
wanna try
episodes.
on Freevee.
Martha, I don't know if I can go from watching Martha Plimpton looking like 35 to whatever the heck age this is supposed
It's
to.
only 10 years later.
I know she
I
looks
don't know. No offense, but
58.
Martha Plimpton didn't
Sadly-
really age
Supposed to
very
be
well.
older than.
Sadly, some people do not age as well as others. They don't all have the Dorian Gray picture in their closet.
When she was in Parenthood with Steve Martin and she shaved her head, she just looked like an
Achilles.
ostrich. Poor Martha Plimpton.
I think she was on an episode of X-Files. That was a really good episode, if I'm not mistaken. I was telling about EriDan.
Oh, so she was actually talking to Sabrina.
Oh,
Sabrina,
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow,
she should come.
that's crazy.
It
You
is.
just-
Not a name drop.
that sounds like a name drop to me.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
name drop.
it
to
did.
me.
Nick wants a name drop. All right, I'm so far away from the name drop page. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna go random name drop.
This name drop is sponsored in part by Oldies Radio, now featuring all your favorite songs from the 80s and 90s.
That's new. You made a new one.
No, that's old. We haven't.
I've never seen that one before.
Blowfish was new.
It's an oldie.
Well, that's oldies.
We were just discussing that yesterday, though. Did you? That's not a new one.
No, that was done at the same time as all the other ones. But
I don't
never
remember you
seen
showing that one before.
Yeah.
no, see, there you go. A little surprise for you.
Wow.
I don't even know what I've done. Who knows?
So, are we talking about other things we've been watching at all? Or
Oh
No.
no? Okay. All right.
no.
No, you
No.
won't.
Bye.
I can save
I
it.
guess we could do that.
No. I want to make sure that everybody feels that they're raising Hoped out.
I've never seen him drink Red Bull with a straw before.
It's way more. It's more of a
Gotta
joke.
stay alive.
Okay, so she said she wanted us to watch a couple retreat one where she fights the bear. She said another film she did, the same bear was on set.
That's
wow.
That's
Where's
cool.
Shannon's bear? Get her bear in here. Wow. That's crazy. Well, so she's like super active on Twitch. Like you go and talk to her. That's amazing. That's very cool. And never gonna be raising Hoped out.
We just watched Brogurt last night. Yeah, you just watch it.
Well, that's crazy.
An enjoyable show. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it's an
fun.
enjoyable
I
show.
haven't watched it all yet, so
You know, I probably I might come back to it because I am. Although I just read how the last episode ends, inadvertently. I am curious to watch the story unfold, so I might come back to it. I am still, I just have other things that I'm watching at the moment. But
Such as?
Yeah, what
I don't
else you
know,
watch,
Julius?
Eric?
Huh?
What else have you been watching?
are we doing it?
Do we want to do it? I think some people want to do it, so I think we should probably do it. Let's do it.
This is where Brian goes. I haven't been watching anything.
Yeah. Well,
All right, Brian, what do you got? What do you got for us?
I watched Somewhere in Time.
Oh gosh.
Oh no!
what'd you think?
It was slow. That was one thing. I didn't think it was as bad as other people were saying it was.
Thank you.
They were like, don't watch it. It's horrible. I really want to suggest some movies for you guys to watch that are truly terrible. Like, so you know where. I mean,
I've seen a lot of bad movies.
Yeah, well,
it's not
I mean,
just a
and
bad
in
movie,
college,
but you
like,
have to think it's great.
like college, we had to critique people's movies. Like you sit there and you have to listen to everybody like crap all over your movie that you just made, and you can't say a word. You just have to
Fiction
listen
writing
to
was
it.
like that too. My fiction class was like that, so it's terrible.
Oh yeah, I had a screenwriting class the same way. Like you just have to sit there and listen to them just crap all over it.
Well, it's good training for if you're going to actually go out in the industry,
Right.
though, because people are
Yeah.
not going to treat you kind.
No. Anyways, I did think it was slow. I thought that in the beginning when he saw like the meet cute was like him seeing the picture, and his eyes were like my glasses are on. He was just like, like, but I thought some parts were like really cute. I don't know. I liked that, like the cuteness between
like 5
them.
minutes of it. No, I'm kidding.
I think it was more for that X-ray vision, is what it was.
Well, yeah, and then yeah, like I like he kind of like, I don't know, the way it worked in my brain is like he gaslighted himself into like the past, you know, like he I don't know, put himself into a trance or something. It was interesting. I'd never seen that before, so I wouldn't rate it as low as other people probably did. But,
Probably not as high as I would, but
no,
I'm sure not as high as you did.
Reagan
But again, I
gave
was
it a 10.
I saw it at like 9 years old or 10 years old. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
I was very young, and it had a big imprint on me.
Yeah,
Jane Seymour was
makes
on
sense. Well, yeah, and I was saying, yeah, Jane Seymour is in it and Christopher Reeve's in it. I thought they were cute.
Christopher Plummer. I mean, the
I
old
didn't like
guy
the
from
one-
Seinfeld. That
Yeah, and Lee Thompson was in Howard the Duck, you know, so.
That's the other reason I watched it.
The one guy in it, I don't know who he was. I didn't like him though. The manager guy.
That's Christopher Plummer.
Okay. I just didn't like. Well, his character. I just was like, "You're dumb. Don't."
He's supposed to be an unlikable character. So.
Yeah. So I had been watching that, and Stacy had been talking about it so much that I really needed to watch Chuck again. So I started watching Chuck again.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. I never finished it, so I'm gonna finish it this time.
Well, you're missing out.
Yeah.
But you're saving yourself, so it's okay.
Yeah. You got your shooting show, Reagan?
I do.
There it is.
Yes, she was saying it. Yeah, he like signed some. Yeah.
There it is.
Yes. So Chuck is great, and it's hilarious, and I love it. So
Yes.
I'm watching that.
Thanks.
Makes you want to work at Best Buy?
No.
Yeah.
Buy more.
Richard told me enough about Best Buy to for wanting me to apply there.
Yeah, I worked at Best Buy. No,
I know you did.
We'll talk about that later. So Reagan, tell us about your Chuck experience. Tell us about your Chucks.
The whole summer was just filled with like different people that I was seeing, and it started with Big Time Rush actually, because I went to their concert and then we got lost on the way to the car and ended up talking to James and Logan at the tour buses. So that whole thing started then. But then
Sounds familiar, huh?
How many people have any idea what she's talking about?
Usually when you get lost on the way to the car at a concert, it's because of some consumption that's happened.
no, the GPS was like jump off this cliff.
Well, Eric and I had a similar situation with the tour bus.
Yeah, we know.
It wasn't a Big Time Rush.
No.
No, it was a big time we were following them.
But yeah, it started with Big Time Rush, and then a couple weeks ago we went to see Matt Bennett, who was from Victorious, who I loved, and so he did like this little thing. It was for my friend's bachelorette party, and he like walked up the stage or something, and we were up on the balcony, and then I turned around like a couple minutes later, and he was standing right next to me, and I was like, what? Like it was crazy. But in the middle of that, we went to Steel City Con, and I got tickets. Yeah, there he goes. I got tickets to see Zach Levi for my birthday, and then Michael C. Hall, Dexter, was going to be there as well. Like my mom texted me, she was like, "Oh, by the way, like all of Dexter people are going to be there," and I was like, "I'm dead." So I slapped down $150 for Dexter as well, who didn't end up going. So I ended up the night before getting pictures for Batista, and here's the pictures that we got. Me and my best friend came with us. This is Batista. And then here's us with Zach. But then basically what happened there was we walked in, and I needed to hold on a second. I needed to see Batista, because we got there kind of late, and I was like, okay, well, I have to go find this man. And I walk in, and immediately there's like Joey Fatone and Edward James Olmos, and like these kids from like the guy, like the foster dad from Shazam, and like these people from The Walking Dead, and like stuff like that. And I turn the corner, and Zach's sitting right there, and I grab my friend's face, who has no idea who any single person in this room is. And I grabbed her face. I was like, oh my God, that's him. And she goes, what? Like that was her reaction. She was like, huh? And so he was standing right there. I was dying. I had my Buy More name tag on. I had my Sarah Walker CIA badge. I had my orange shoes on. And I talked to this lady, and I could not focus on anything because he was sitting right there. And I said, I have pictures with this guy. Where is he? She said, all of Dexter is in this building. So we had to go across the street to this other building, and they were still doing autographs. And I walk into this room, and 6 people from Dexter are in the same room as me. And I was dying again. And again, my best friend was like, I don't know who these people are. So there was like a whole like hype thing. And so they told us, well, they're doing autographs right now, and you have to go back to the other building for the photo op with Batista. So we followed Batista to his own photo op across the street. And so we like followed him there, and we got the picture with him. But before that, I was talking to this lady in front of Zach, who was going to take a break. And she goes, if you slap down $120, he will sign something for you. And I was like, I'll be there. So I went over there, and he signed my shoe, and he said, Reagan, your aces, which is from Chuck. And we were having this whole conversation, and he was excited that my name is Reagan and that they use Ronald Reagan in the show. And I told him about my picture. I forgot to tell him that my last name is Ryder, like Flynn Rider. So that's sad. But it was just super exciting. And I sat there, like I had an actual, like legitimate conversation with him that like, yes, I was definitely super excited, like any fan would be. But I was proud of myself for calming down a little bit and not being like, so I asked him if I could give him a hug by the end of it, and he was like, well, we can hand hug. So I hand hugged him, and then we went to Texas Roadhouse because our photo op for him was like 2 hours later. And we went to Texas Roadhouse, and this lady accidentally tapped my hand. And so my friend, she was talking to me, and I interrupted her as soon as the lady walked away, and I said, she has no idea that she just accidentally like secondhand touched Zachary Levi. And she goes, are you kidding me? Like she was I don't know. It was fun. But we went back, we got the photo op, and as soon as I walked in, he was like, what's up, Reagan? Are you hype? And I was like, yeah. And so I gave him like a side hug. He was super tall. It was crazy. And like, here's that picture of him. There he is, Chuck Bartowski. There's Batista. We followed him across the street. But then the last part of it, we had this digital download. And so we were waiting in line to get that, and he walked out because he was leaving, and like there were these girls in front of us that were like, oh no, is that his girlfriend? And I was like, if you're his fans, you would know that, yeah, that's his girlfriend. Like it was just kind of weird. And they were all yelling about it, and he was sitting there, and he walked down this aisle and stuff, and he came back up and he was saying bye to everybody, and then he goes, hi, Reagan. And my friend, she still makes fun of me because I was like, hi. Like I didn't know.
It was higher pitched than that.
It was higher. I like was dying. She still makes fun of me for it. She'll send me voice memos and be like, hi. And I'm like, okay. It was so bad. But it was so fun. And she keeps telling me, I was talking to her and her mom earlier, and she was like, Mom, it was like watching Reagan talk to an adult man version of herself. And so I was like, we've been talking about this. Like, this is me.
Right, Adam? I agree.
Adam.
I would do it again. Like, it just was so
Not
good.
even Dan?
Yeah, Adam, come on.
I was gonna say that's
Like,
amazing. That
Me
is
and Zach are friends.
all right, you should get like 8 of these.
This name drop is sponsored in part by Lower Back Pain. Tired of having nothing to complain about? Why not try lower back pain?
Another new one.
I do not approve of that message.
Another new one.
I like how Eric's like, no, these are old.
No, they are. They're
I
very
don't.
old.
Sorry.
They're quite old. We haven't played them.
That's
We haven't
true.
had as many name drops.
Yep. It's been a while.
It has. It's been a while since, and Reagan just gave us like 8. So
Yeah. There were a lot.
that's awesome.
All my friends this summer were like, do you just do this? Like, do you just know people? Like, I would, like, because I was.
You
all
just
there
know
all summer.
people.
Yeah, because I went to like all these different things. Like I would leave camp and then I would go like hang out with these famous people, and then I would come back and they'd be like, "What?" But no, like to them that's what it was. Like they didn't understand. And a lot of them were from
I
overseas.
breathed their air.
Yeah, like. But a
And
lot
when
of
did you
them-
have COVID? Maybe you had Zach Levi COVID.
After Big Time
Ooh.
Rush. It was after Big Time Rush. But yeah, a lot of my friends are from overseas, and so they don't have a lot of people that go over. They don't have stuff like Steel City Con or Comic Cons or stuff like that all the time, and so they were just really confused by it. They were like, you just go to concerts whenever, like you just go places and get people to sign your tennis shoes. Like a lot of my friends from England specifically were like that. So
If you were a real fan, you'd know his exact schedule, so you could stalk him.
duh, like that's yeah. But it was fun.
That's awesome.
We're friends.
Those are
finally.
always fun.
That's fantastic. That's awesome.
But
So
it
what
made
else
me
have people
think
been
about-
watching?
I was hoping they'd do a sitcom Comic Con type thing. Could just call it SitCon.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
There's no lines.
Yeah, everybody's
No,
in
you-
a wheelchair.
You get pictures with Wayne Knight was at Comic Con, wasn't he? Or
Yes,
Yeah, he
Comic
was.
Con?
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him, and I saw Jack Dylan Grazer was there. He was the kid from Shazam. He like ran past me, and I was like, "Was that kid?" Like that's how I felt. It was weird. Like they just were like with you. You know what I mean? You'd have like a random person dressed up like Johnny Depp, and then you would have like an actual person. It's cool.
I agree, Adam.
So Adam says 40
Cut off.
bucks. So Adam, so September 17th, I know you already bought your ticket for Dean Edwards from Saturday Night Live, who will be playing the part of Lenny, the owner of the car dealership, and doing a stand-up show. And that's 40 bucks. So we hit you. I knew exactly how to price it.
You know Adam's point, yeah.
Anybody else who wants tickets, go to
All
bpainfo.com.
his numbers, apparently.
Or as Eric says, bpainfo.com.
Yes. Yep.
Works for me.
I did
so,
watch. I did
go
watch
ahead.
one good movie and one bad movie this past week.
Ooh, what'd you watch?
Bad
So
movie
let's get the
first.
Bad one out of the way first, which is the more recently hyped Sylvester Stallone Samaritan
Ooh.
Oh.
on Amazon Prime. It's not the worst movie, but it's pretty superhero movie by the numbers, and some incredibly bad de-aging done in a few scenes that look like bad video game animation. I mean, it's just really
That's
awful.
Now I have to watch it.
Yeah, that might be enjoyable.
There's no surprises in it, and the CGI is pretty laughable, but there are a few decent scenes. And then the other extreme was I'd been meaning to watch this movie for years and finally got around to it, which is not the TV series, but the original movie, What Happens in the Shadows, which I was rolling with. That is hysterical. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's
I know
from Taika Waititi and
I've
Jeremy
seen part of
Clement
the
from
series. I didn't know there was a
Flight of
movie.
the Conchords and Rhys Davies, and it's a New Zealand movie, and it was just it's a mockumentary about vampires. Let's just summarize it at that.
I saw it. It was good. I watched it in a class.
It is very funny.
It was funny.
Nice. Brittany saw Sing 2.
Cute. I like that one.
Hey, so we finished Only Murders in the
Oh,
Building.
yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Oh yes,
It was good. It was good.
Which is awesome.
We're a week in. Are we allowed to talk about it?
No
spoilers.
I think we have to wait. We have to wait a couple of weeks for that. We finished The Boys.
Oh my!
I'm only 4 episodes in.
Again, love it.
So you actually had your son in the room while you were watching Herogasm.
Yes.
Wow.
Now he is awesome because he has no interest in watching things with his parents in the room with him. So he would hide his eyes quite frequently during episodes, which he said made it so much worse.
I get that.
Just hearing the sounds of what was happening on the screen was so much worse. But yes, he made it through. The fight scenes towards the end for the last few episodes are really good. So that was fun. I said I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, which was not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. But I do have a thing about low expectations, man. If you think a movie is going to be really terrible, that helps it be not as terrible as you think. Which I think is what happened with Brian with Somewhere in Time.
Maybe it
was going to be so unwatchable that
I know, like everybody was like, just don't even bother, and I'm like, that makes me want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always say have low expectations because you're not disappointed if it's bad, or you're pleasantly surprised if it's good.
Just like marriage.
I actually
Wow.
I installed like big awesome surround sound and stuff in my man cave, and I just recently started Supernatural over, only in that like immersive audio experience. Recommended.
That would be awesome.
I think my TV dad plays a couple of episodes of Supernatural.
Oh yeah,
I think he's on a couple episodes.
That's
Actually, I think Debbie Gibson is too, if I'm not mistaken. I think they both did a couple episodes. Oh no, she did Lucifer. Sorry, wrong show.
I have been tempted to watch. Is it Evil that Andrea Martin is in?
Oh, I don't know this one.
I think it's Evil is the show she's in.
I
She
think
plays a
watched some
nun.
of the.
I couldn't get into Evil. I know what you're talking about. I watched maybe the first like 5 episodes back when it first came out, and
Just didn't hook you?
Didn't stick with me.
No, fair. I haven't watched any yet. I've just been intrigued by it.
I'm trying to figure out if I watched it.
Anybody else watch She-Hulk yet?
Oh, I did.
Not
I
yet.
liked it.
I like it. I think
I
it's
liked
good.
it.
Streaming.
My son thinks it's the worst thing on television. But
Is it streaming?
It's on Disney Plus.
It's
It's like
Okay.
all of Marvel. It's on Disney Plus. Yep.
First 2 episodes are up.
I don't watch it when they put the episode. Like I wait until the whole thing's on.
You want to binge it all at once?
Yeah. That's
You know
I
what?
do.
I think that's a good idea because we binged Only Murders in the Building season 1, and I understood what was happening. Season 2, I'm like, how did we get here? I just felt like I missed something, and we were on episode 8, and I'm like, how are we on episode 8? We saw 3. I need to do it again. I need to watch it again.
It's called
I
falling
haven't
asleep.
watched She-Hulk yet, but I mean, because I thought WandaVision was excellent. I thought Loki was very good, and I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier was just boring as can be.
Yes.
So I'm just I don't know where this falls.
It's definitely. I enjoyed. I would put this up there, maybe a little below Loki, if you're looking at that quality scale for your scale right there. I enjoyed Ms. Marvel as well, though. I really enjoyed Hawkeye. I enjoyed Hawkeye more than I enjoyed Loki.
Hawkeye had some very good moments and some really boring stretches. It was very erratic.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
See, I feel that way about Loki. Like, I feel like Loki just like there was a couple like oh, this is just long. This is just you're trying to get from point A to point B, and you need some things to happen, and it's like. But I liked Loki, but I liked Hawkeye more just because it was I don't know, just easily relatable. I think
Part of the problem with Hawkeye is it's just, even going back to the 70s when I used to read the Avengers, he was the least interesting Avenger.
Well, I said that. Well, and again, I went into Hawkeye with very low expectations. I think I went into Loki with much higher expectations, and so I think it had a lot with my opinions. At least after a single watching, is like, Loki didn't work up to my educations. Hawkeye exceeded my expectations.
I think it definitely matters like what kind of mood you're in when you watch something as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're not in the mood for it, then you're just gonna be like, nah, 20.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's how I get.
So Dave, when we did our what Marvel character are you?
Uh-huh.
I was Hawkeye.
Oh, you were?
You're a star.
I'm like, oh man, I'm a Hawkeye.
Wow.
Oh man, it reminds me of Big Bang Theory. Man, Aquaman sucks.
He's really strong though.
Good swimmer.
Yeah.
Definitely a strong.
He can
swimmer.
talk to fish.
Yeah.
And they do what he says.
Exactly.
So, Dave, you mentioned Sylvester Stallone, and I saw something on Twitter relating to Sylvester Stallone that apparently during the 90s, prop versions of Sylvester Stallone's cryogenically frozen character in Demolition Man hung from the ceilings of Planet Hollywood restaurants.
Oh my god.
So,
not something I would want to look at while I'm eating.
Yeah, not very appetizing.
so if you could imagine if you would have gone, I can't come up. I know you're so
And it was
sad.
probably right next to the Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator after he went back in time and crouching.
What about in
Total
Recall, the head
Yeah.
that like pops open to the fat lady?
That is just oh man, I like them practical effects. They're funny.
I love me some Demolition Man. Someday we're gonna have to watch Demolition Man.
I want to know what the 3 shells are.
Oh God, no.
And would you like fries with your dinner?
What about
I didn't order
was it
knockwurst.
Big Trouble in Little China?
Oh, that I
That's what
enjoy.
it's
Yeah,
called? That's
enjoy it.
fun. Yeah.
That is just pure fun. That's right up there to me. Carpenter's an interesting. Big Trouble in
Yeah.
Little China, Escape from New York.
Yeah.
I mean, fun movies.
They are really fun for sure. When I'm thinking about practical effects, I can't speak. Sorry. Yeah, just that one is so good, and Total Recall always comes to my brain too with it. It's like, just like, oh, it's great.
Yeah, there are a few times though that the replica face is clearly not
Yeah.
very well done. But
Indiana Jones, I love that too. Yeah. Oh man.
The thing with Total Recall is it ends and you go, all right, was the whole movie his
Yeah.
recall, or did that really happen?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Well, it's Philip K. Dick. His stories tend to be head trips. So you know, same guy who did Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I had to watch Blade Runner again. I don't know. The first time I watched it, I kind of fell asleep. That's my bad.
I did too. It's okay.
I did.
Oh, all right.
I didn't love it.
Not the only one.
I watched it with one of my friends, and he's super into it. I don't really remember why. It was a while ago, but he was like, "This is so good," and I was just like, "What is
Why?
happening?"
Yeah.
Like I did not get. I was like, "Bye." Like I don't get it.
I really enjoy Blade Runner, but it's not a movie I would recommend to most people. It's the kind of movie that you have to. You
Yeah.
never know how people are going to react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it. He was like, "Isn't that so cool?" I was like, "What happened?" Like it didn't make any sense.
2001: A Space Odyssey is that way too. I love it, but
Yeah.
I can see why some people find it the most boring science fiction movie ever filmed.
I don't think I made it through that one actually. Yeah. What's another one?
Great special effects in it though, all practical effects. Some of the finest modeling work ever done.
You
I
haven't
really
seen
like
Bob
with
Bryan's
the. Have you seen League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Oh yes.
They got practical effects in that one. That's really cool too. Like they built that whole city that they drive through. Like it's insane. No, I like that one a lot. Practical effects rather than CGI.
I didn't bury Blade Runner, Adam. Don't blame me.
I feel like I might have fallen asleep
One.
on 2001 as well.
Dave,
I just didn't
Dave.
finish it. I don't remember finishing it.
I was weird though because I read the Arthur C. Clarke novelization before I saw the movie, so I wasn't one of these people that's watching the movie going, "What's going on? I don't understand." I already knew what was going on and just was enjoying the visuals.
That makes sense.
That might be better.
We watched the first episode of A League of Their Own.
Oh,
Oh,
the
from
TV
Ambridge,
series.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you could see Ambridge.
I worked in Ambridge.
Yeah.
I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
From Ambridge to Cambridge, we're going through.
Wade goes to school there, and he drove past the ball field and
As they were building
it, and the bus and everything. So we recognized old economy, and we recognized things. But I'm not a fan of the show. And I don't think I'll continue it. It was very uncomfortable.
What did you think of the original movie?
Yeah, I love the original movie, but this just didn't have that feel to it. I felt like they were trying to do something different, and it's one thing I don't like about when they buy something and make it their own. It's not yours. So I felt like the characters were uncomfortable.
Of course, the other side of that is when they made My Big Fat Greek Life, which was the follow-on to the movie we watched, which was done right after the movie, while it was still a very hot commodity, and it made it through 7 episodes. And I remember, even though I don't see anything about it online, I remember reading at the time how it was very much a case where Nia Vardalos was just not. She really was trying to micromanage every aspect of the production.
Yeah,
I can't remember hearing that.
Letting the people who knew what they were doing do what they could do, and that really buried it, according to what I read at the time.
Well, and of course, she would have felt that she had done that where she had gotten, and that she knew the property more than anybody else. So
she caught lightning in a bottle and didn't know how to keep it lit.
And once they give you the big paycheck, it's theirs.
I know we're getting long, and we're going to lose Adam with Beaver County talk. But I was going through one of my father's old cases, and I found a business card, probably from the late 40s, early 50s.
Wow!
I thought it was really interesting.
I like the address, top of Ross Hill.
Top of Ross Hill,
which is where that's where little car dealership is now.
Tilden 396.
Hey, Sal, can you get me Tilden 36960, please?
Transylvania 65000.
Wow.
So it's 843.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who has that number now?
6960. You should call it.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I need to get my radio repaired.
Or my television.
And there was
are you Googling it, Stacey? You're going to call it.
I'm going
It's
to
not one of them newfangled colored sets, is it?
In the 40s, 47s, I think.
Here's what I would love to know what this was about. On the back, there's a quote for. Let's see if I can get that to work.
Nope.
No, wait, a little further back. You can't see it. It's $4.
$4.
$4.
That's for
like I don't know what was getting repaired or why it would be.
He's like, I'm going to tune your radio. It'll be $4.
$4 for some tubes.
It's not coming up that I can tell, Dan.
Wow.
Now, it'd be very creepy if you called it and they went, yeah, Riverview Radio and TV repair.
Top of Ross Hill. What can I do for you?
Yeah, Twilight Zone episode.
It's like we're back in time.
Just don't look at that penny.
Yeah.
No.
I see what
that was actually like I was legitimately upset. I was like really right now? Like you took all the change out of here in the beginning.
Right.
And, yeah, it made me mad.
But when you watch it the second time, you go, oh, yep, I can see he didn't take it all out.
Yeah, well.
You kind of realize because he puts it in and he goes, oh, and he pulls it out and he kind of looks at it.
I was upset. Like,
843
she probably like seriously scarred from that.
6960
is. Oh no! Wait a minute. It's not.
It would be
it said it was on Hill and Kunselman Funeral Home down on College Hill, but it says it's missing that. So I don't know. I don't know what's coming
Said
up.
the word hill.
So we're moving from discussing Beaver Valley to discussing Somewhere in Time a little more. Adam's just going to be on the edge of his seat here.
Oh yeah, he's seriously dropping off.
I was going to mention, I worked at a maintenance place in Ambridge. There was a manufacturing complex. It was like almost a mile long down there. It's near the tracks.
Mm.
You just described all of Ambridge.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the right side.
We would go. There was this
Wrong
little restaurant we would go for lunch. I would always get the breakfast meals there. It was right across the street. Yeah.
Is it TikTok or?
I don't remember what it was called.
TikTok, you don't stop.
It was
well,
great,
I worked at Saul's of Ambridge on Merchant Avenue in Ambridge.
I don't know if that's still there or not.
I don't think so. I think they
No.
retired finally.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about that.
You posted an ad, didn't you?
Oh, hey, here we go.
Yeah.
This trip down memory lane is brought to you in part by Mansplaining. Your coworkers will think you're so smart when you try mansplaining. Now available in all areas.
Okay.
I do remember that one.
All right. Well,
what do you say?
Good job, Adam. Well played.
Yes.
Animal
Well, I think
Crossing.
we should all go play. We have 2 movies to watch before Sunday.
What are they again?
High Fidelity and School of Rock.
Okay.
School of Fidelity.
And if you get a chance, listen to High Infidelity, REO Speedwagon.
And I'm probably going to watch The Pick of Destiny just because I'll be on a Jack Black kick. So.
By the way,
One of
Jack
my
Black.
favorite-
Jack Black had his
Yeah.
birthday yesterday, just like me. We both had the same birthday.
Sure, we did miss
It
Dan's
all ties
birthday
in.
yesterday.
Is it the same year, Dan?
I think he's 1 year older than me.
Okay.
I think he's 69. So he's the same birthday as Rick Burdine.
Okay.
Or he's a year younger than me. I forget. I guess I could look it up. I got the Google right in front of me.
You got the Google?
Oh, you got the Google?
Dan, you should call that
Where
number.
do I get me that?
Yeah, 69. He's 53 years old.
Nice. Well, happy birthday to Jack Black.
Yeah, and Rick Burdine wished Tony Policaro happy birthday today. Did not wish me a happy birthday, even though I wished him a happy birthday. Thanks, Rick Burdine.
Whoa, you've
Happy
been
birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday, Rick Burdine. Leanne Rhymes also had a birthday yesterday.
I didn't send her a card. I feel terrible.
David Soul. And on Wednesday is Debbie Gibson's 52nd birthday.
Wow.
She's 3 days younger than me. Her birthday's 3 days after mine.
Yeah, I think so.
You should tell her.
David
that.
Cole's brother lived in Ambridge.
Wow.
He was part of the school that Wade goes to. I forget if he was a priest.
You know, the root of the word Ambridge.
It's bridge.
Is M for Americas.
I don't know that. I don't know the Greek word for that. But.
Oh, geez. I saw Honey Boo Boo's birthday is the same as mine.
Oh,
God.
yeah,
Although she's 17
no.
now. Honey Boo Boo is 17.
Dang.
Army Hammer, who I believe is selling timeshare now.
Well, his acting career hit a few speed bumps.
Reagan, you should find Adam on Animal Crossing and play.
Jason Priestley.
Okay.
Who else had a birthday along with my birthday? Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, cool.
She's so funny. Hi, Pumpkin.
I do have to put a Christopher Guest movie on one of these
Tape
days.
Face. Remember Tape Face from AGT?
Face?
He did his whole act with tape across his mouth.
Taser face?
Daniel Stern. I did not realize Daniel Stern and I have the same birthday.
Wow.
Yet
Home Alone.
it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
David Soul is so unpopular he's not even on this list anymore.
Well, Starsky and Hutch was a long time ago.
Yeah, now they've got people that are YouTube stars.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Hull, 31-year-old YouTube star. And Toby Yu, a 20-year-old TikTok star. He gets his name on here.
We can stop.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was going to say, I mean, we went into YouTube.
And on that
TikTok.
note,
That's a good time to end.
perfect place to go start watching movies for next week. So yeah, enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful week. Yeah, I think it is. It's time to go to bed.
Sunday.
Sunday night.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
See you
You'll
then.
pay for the whole ticket, but you only need the edge. Oh, wait, you'll pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Good night.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.